Wait on that.
Well, I'd like to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
thought she was going to.
I did too.
Okay, we're unmuted.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll call the meeting to order. You join me in the pledge. I believe it's to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, for all. Right. We will have a scheduled hearing at 7:15, so at that time we'll recess the regular business portion. This time we've got Delaware County Prosecutor Melissa Schiffel here. Okay, Holly, you want to give us a quick update?
Yes, thank you very much. As you all know, the plan was adopted last month and we've been working on the overlay zoning district since that time. The Strategic Planning Committee has moved the mixed use overlay district out of the Strategic Planning Committee and onto the Zoning Commission. Zoning Commission received that document and set their public hearing for April 24th. And we'll be convening on Monday to review that and hold that public hearing, and hopefully in the next several weeks being able to forward that on to the township trustees with a recommendation. I know we do have to continue that hearing for a little bit because of we'll be waiting on the Regional Planning Commission to get their recommendation to us with the way that their meetings fall. So it'll probably be the May 1st meeting when the Zoning Commission would have the first chance to even make a recommendation to the trustees. So hopefully that won't be coming along soon to you guys. We are working on the CRCD, the Conservation Residential Overlay District as well. That one just got moved out of the Strategic Planning Committee last night, working with regional planning on some procedure sections. And we'll be getting that to the Zoning Commission for them to receive here shortly. I have had a couple of different meetings that I want you to be aware of. Met with the Delaware County Economic Development Department, and then they came out and did a presentation to the Strategic Planning Committee. And then I have another meeting with them next week just to keep them in the loop, and then they can keep us in the loop and making sure that we understand what activities are going on in and around Central Ohio and how that may affect Harlem Township. Our firm also attended the framework meeting that was held in Licking County regarding their planning efforts that they are doing as a county level. And we were able to gather information from them. I shared with the Strategic Planning Committee last night that they're planning on the housing not hitting them as hard because they are not in a position with water and sewer and infrastructure. Their Jersey Township will be hit pretty hard. I'm doing the plan for them as well. But the other communities don't have that water and sewer infrastructure yet. So Harlem Township, with getting that water and sewer by 2026, we know that notice to proceed has already happened. So we know that sewer is coming this way. So housing will be probably one of the first demands in and around Harlem Township versus some of these other areas. So be on the lookout for that just by hearing what we're hearing in other places. Continue to have other meetings as needed to make sure that we're keeping everything moving forward and keeping you guys in the right position as we go forward.
Okay. Our contract with you is what, till the end of June, I believe?
Correct, yes.
We would like to have talks with you about extending that.
Yes.
There's a lot of work yet to be done.
Yes.
So we can get the figure what as of today or something. We'd like to get it nailed down in the May meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
We can get figures and get with Lisa on that.
Yep. I will. I have a running tally that I keep, and I'll update it with this last month that we've, where we are. And then look at how much we think we, will need for Do you want 6 months, a year? What do you think?
6 months for now. I think.
Well, we did 6 months the last time. I'm not sure we'll get through the weeds by then, but guess we can give it a try. What do you think?
I mean, can always renew it again, right? So. But yeah, I mean, whichever way you prefer, I don't care either way. But just, I will tell, I shared with, Carl that my hourly rate did go up in January. You guys were locked in, so
Okay,
this one will go up. It'll probably go up again in January, so just be aware of that.
okay.
Up to what?
What's that?
Up to what?
I'm at 125 right now. I don't know what I'll go up to in January. I'm assessing the market each year. so.
The market controls.
Okay.
The demand on Holly. So I informed her last night that she's not going anywhere if we have anything to say.
Okay, we have any questions for Holly before we move on?
I mean, I meant to ask you this last night, other than the meeting that you and I sat in with AEP, have you had any other communication? Okay,
I have not, no.
okay, because there's been a lot of questions since this came out. And I meant to ask you that last night and
And I also meant to tell you too, in my little update was that I did talk with the land use attorney that I'm working with. He has reviewed the mixed use district. He had a couple minor tweaks for me, sent those back to me tonight as I was driving, so I haven't looked at those. Also the language regarding the JED requirements. He's the one that's drafted that language tighter for us. So that'll be coming forward too as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
thanks, Holly.
thank you.
Move on.
7:07.
Lisa, you want to do the financials?
Sure. Bank reconcile sitting up there for you guys to sign, balance. Appropriation status reports and ledger reports were emailed. Approval of trustee meeting correction to approve the following correction of minutes. January the 9th, 2023, correction of special trustee meetings of resolution number 23-0109 T-002. Assistant Fire Chief Michael McKean's pay rate should read $3,180 per pay.
Do we have someone want to make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
The next one is approval of trustee meetings for February the 15th, 2023, regular trustee meeting, March 22nd, 2023, regular meeting, and April the 4th, 2023, special meeting.
So moved.
Motion for the 15th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. I abstain. I wasn't present at that meeting. Okay, the March 22nd, regular meeting.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay,
I'll second.
all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the special meeting on the 4th of April.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Got the warrants there.
Yeah, starting with warrant number 12877 through warrant 12905. Voucher number 39-2023 through voucher 46-2023. Total amount $723,741.83. But I want to also let you know it's including the fire department grant funds of $404,000, $761.91.
Okay.
That's why it's so high.
Right, okay. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Approval of the IRS standard mileage rate change to 0.655.
Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Approval of the Harlem Township Standard Procedure for Budget Schedule and Expenditures.
Okay, has everybody read that document?
I have.
Yes, I have.
Okay, all those, please have a motion there.
So moved.
I'll
You
second.
second it? Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Supplemental appropriation, move to approve the following supplemental appropriation from account 1,000-1110. Or 110 -111-0000, negative 12,000. Move it to 1,000-1110 -112-0004 to 12,000.
okay,
Or 000, 4 zeros. That's what I meant, sorry.
Thank you, Mike.
motion approved,
So moved.
Second.
second, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay. Still got a little bit of time.
4 minutes.
The next one, approval of emergency spending fund. I guess I'm not sure what that is.
What is that?
There was some discussion. I basically, I thought I had talked to, I don't remember who I talked to, that we have some amount set up for, like, for example, when we had the problem with the abatement and having someone come in, and we didn't have to wait for an approval to get that amount of money spent. You know, if it was just a budgeted item, I didn't know if we wanted to look at something like that or not.
Well, in the past 40 years, we've never had an occasion for emergency spending
Okay,
need.
that's fine.
I know things arise, but yet we have so much money in appropriated for repairs and so forth. That kind of falls in that category.
So if an issue like that comes up again, we don't have to wait for 2 of us to approve it to be done.
It's got to be approved by 3 trustees on any emergency fund expenditure.
Yeah,
So,
Okay.
But we have credit cards. Yeah, Lisa, we have what, 4 credit cards out there?
5.
5?
yeah.
We have 5 credit cards with 2,000, so that's $10,000 in
That's
emergency.
2,000 per card.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
Yeah,
that would be covered.
And then you guys can also call a trustee meeting within 24 hours for
Right,
emergencies too, on top of that.
So with that said, I'll make a motion not to approve that. If that, we're calling for a motion here?
No, no, it's just a
no, it's a
discussion.
motion to approve.
I thought it was just a discussion.
So it's, I would say, not go any farther and
It's
carry
just-
on the way we have for now.
It was discussion on trustees having, that's all it was a discussion. It
okay,
wasn't a motion, it
understand.
was just a discussion.
Okay.
All right,
Just needed some clarification for myself.
okay,
Thank you.
good. Okay, we got a couple minutes yet. We got, want to deal with Kendra now or wait till after the hearing?
It is now 7:13.
Okay, we got one quickie here, maybe. The resident request for parking a state-owned vehicle on the township property. I thought we checked with the insurance carrier on this before, 6 months ago or something, and that was kind of a gray area. I thought, and kind of, with that, we decided not to participate in that.
Yes. And
I think it was in 2021 we did.
It was a while
Was that
back.
long ago?
Yeah, it was that
Okay.
long ago.
Okay.
In 2022, she had asked and you guys did not
Yeah.
find a clear answer as to be able to do it, so it was not permitted.
Well, the other thing we asked for is a reason for that requirement. And just so you know what we're talking about here, there's a resident in our township here that lives over on Center Village Road. She works for a government entity. And they are requiring her to not park her government-owned vehicle in her driveway. So, which means that if she's requesting that she parks it, they can park it back here. Which means she would have to get a ride or walk along 605 or through a muddy field to her home. So I've asked her to give us, this board, a reason to justify why they would make that requirement on any public employee, because we've got highway patrolmen who take their patrol cars home. We got fire chiefs across the country that can take their fire equipment home, and so on. So it just makes no sense to us. So that's the reason I personally am against it, until they can give us some justification as to why that would be required, and to make sure we're indemnified if that would happen, insurance wise, in case it gets damaged here on the lot and so on. And I've got no acknowledgement of any of that. So with that,
Yeah, I wasn't sure that it was a requirement by her employer,
It is.
or it was her preference not to have it in her driveway.
Well, no, because we
requirement.
have one over at Genoa that she parks the FBI vehicle, in the
Yeah.
parking lot,
Same
and then
deal,
she
huh?
drives and changes cars. And then she goes to work, then she comes back and changes it, and then it's set. So, yeah,
Okay.
it must be an FBI thing.
It's not only, no, she's not FBI.
Oh,
No, she's
Oh.
not.
I guess,
Health Department, I think.
for an answer, I would move that we decline the request for the
I
resident.
would,
agree.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed to decline. Okay, I think we're done. This time I'll recess the business portion of the meeting, call to order the hearing. This hearing's been requested by SREI Fund, the Fourth LLC, 4016 Towns Fairway, Columbus, Ohio. They have a subdivision name that they got in mind, Estates at Duncan Run. The property is currently zoned AR1, agriculture, 67.929 acres. And they want to propose zoning district as the PRCD overlay on an AR1. The property has no street address this time. Parcel ID is 316-320-04-014-002 and 316-320-04-014-000. The notice for this hearing was posted here at the firehouse. It was on the township website, and it was also published in the April 5th Delaware Gazette. Is plan for land, okay. Would you like to give a review of the?
Yeah, I have a small presentation.
Okay.
I'd like to share. I can share it through Zoom as well, so let me
Okay.
pull that up. It says host has disabled that. You may have to go through on your guys' side. We also have the property owner here as well, Justin, here in the back, so.
Okay,
Able to share it. Not sure how you disable it on this side. May help you, thank you. Not sure how to quite do that. Well, I can just verbally do it. I did have a map for you though. I think Joe presented that to you guys in his binder that he presented last time as well, so.
Here's, if you pull out the drawer, there's a mouse.
Technology, right?
sure there is.
Whoa, oh, you touched the wrong pad.
Hey, did the sun come up?
spotlight.
Mouse won't come on. The mouse won't come on.
That's the
That's what you said.
for that is right here.
Oh, well, why don't you say that?
Just heard.
Just tell me.
In the meantime, I just
You
need
take that back
to.
now? We need to sign that document.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay,
about-
gotcha.
that's right.
Okay. Yeah, I knew what it was, but I didn't know what. Yeah.
Maybe
You should be on the list to be able to share.
Tell them to come up there.
I am right here, Alexis. Mail.
So that Just put it on the file.
Right here.
That should be perfect.
Got it.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Thank
Good.
you very much. We figured it out. So we have the estates at Duncan Run, as the trustees had explained, parcel numbers as well. It is currently zoned agricultural residential district, AR1. And we are proposing it to be the PRCD overlay onto AR1. My name is Lexis Thornton. I work for Plan for Land. Joe could unfortunately not make it tonight, so I'm here representing Plan for Land, and our client Justin as well. So here's some property information. On the right-hand side, we have our project team, for estates at Duncan Run, which you guys have been presented with that information as well. As you addressed, the site has no current address, but the property is located on Harlem Road, Westerville, and Gorsuch Road in Galena. So the property is currently 67.929 acres. And we're also going to have a minimum of 33.965 acres preserved in dedicated open space. So our permitted uses currently, we have 26 lots on our development plan on the 67.929 acres, with a 1 acre minimum per lot requirement, with 2,200 square foot minimum dwelling area. So we have on the next page here, this is our development plan, that Plan for Land and BRAC Engineering have worked together to present to you guys as well. We are going to block this into 3 phases. So phase 1 is up here. I don't know if it will let me share my mouse. It does. Perfect. So up here is going to be phase 1, and that is lots 1 and 2. That's actually going to be created through a no plat approval. The reason that we're doing this is to comply with the county engineer's requirements, and also Delaware County Regional Planning Commission made that recommendation to us to present it that way. So, and then lots 3 through 7 and lots 20 through 26 is going to be phase 2, which is in the front area here. And then the back is lots 8 through 19, which will be phase 3. This is all in page 36 of that final development plan package that Joe had presented to you guys as well. So here are some architectural standards that Justin and our team have put together, just to give you a visual. And then here's our upcoming schedule on what we're hoping to achieve tonight, obviously the rezoning. And then we're also meeting with Delaware County Regional Planning next Thursday, the 27th. So, and we will go from there. So if you guys have any questions, I would be happy to answer those as well to the best of my ability.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they, I can read regional planning's highlights here. You would, yeah. Their recommendations, as Alexis said, lots 1 and 2 on Gorsuch Road would be not be part of the subdivision and would be divided by prior platting. Number 2, they said a sidewalk must be provided at least one side of all subdivision streets, and a traffic access study must be submitted and approved by Delaware County engineer prior to final plat approval. Apparently that was it. They made recommendation to a conditional approve, as they always do. Just those 2 items. And it does show as 52% open space of the 65.529. And the density is 30.366 per acre of net density of 0.52. And it does make one statement about lots 15 through 19 being impacted by poorly drained soils based on Delaware County soils. Care should be taken while locating on-site septic and homes below grade floor elevations on these lots, and that's pretty much a wrap on that. Zoning Commission recommended approval. That's how it got to us. There was, during the hearings, if you had a chance to read the minutes, there was some discussion at first with some residents, and through the process of the hearings, those were pretty much satisfied. On the final hearing evening, I didn't really see any discussion, any protest or anything.
No.
The plan, if you've had an opportunity to look through it, it's pretty well put together. It details the environmental issues, the retention ponds. I think there's 4. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're also working with Urban Wild, Amy Dutt. She does landscaping development as well. So she's been helping us with those retention studies as well.
Yeah.
What about the septic situation?
Septic, we have got soil tests. I think that was also in our design as well, in our design packet. We have got specific septic sites on our development plan as well, through BRAC Engineering. And that was approved by Michael Strain, Mitch Strain, through Smart Services, so.
How about road maintenance?
Road maintenance, we are working with county engineer and BRAC as well. Justin might be able to answer some of those questions too. So.
It's going to be a public road, through there.
Okay.
Which will be county serviced.
It's likely township, I
I
think.
think it's township. It is township.
Yeah, yeah.
It's town, yeah, it's township roads.
Yeah.
But
They have included a sample of their HOA agreements. It's potentially gonna be accompanying the lots. Any other questions? The public have any questions of Alexis? Bob?
Does anyone know if we legally have to take over the roads? There are gonna be a lot more of these,
Yeah,
and we've had some bad experiences taking over.
we have.
yeah.
That was part of my question.
I
think
can
the-
even
I
direct
think
some
the
of those
answer-
questions to Joe as well,
I think the
so.
answer is if it meets county standards, we have to,
Yeah.
it's in our township. Have to assume
Yeah.
responsibility. I believe that's the criteria, so.
That's, yeah.
Mhm.
I think, if I may, one of the problems we've had in the past with taking over other roads was the issue of curbs. There are not curbs in this one.
Well, we prefer not curbed. We ran into the issues, the first part of the one other subdivision
Right.
was curbed, and the balance was not.
This one does not have curbs.
That would be a good thing.
Urban.
Mike,
Yeah, Tom, or Mike,
I would also point out that with regard to the HOA covenants and the what's in there as requirements this time is very different than what was experienced with the previous subdivision that you're making reference back to. They once they took over, they did some things that would not have been acceptable, but they didn't know and they weren't following the agreed upon plan. In this case, there are numerous times where that's been addressed, and it is making the effort here was for us, as we did the zoning commission hearings, was to make sure that as the property was transferred, that is from the owner over to an HOA for maintenance purposes, that they indeed would follow and understand that in order to move something forward before they made changes, they needed to meet with the zoning inspector. That was not the case in the previous subdivision that you're thinking about.
okay, good. Anything else? Any other public? Becky?
I haven't read the plan. Is there a minimum, size requirement or size for these ones?
Yes, 2,200, is that right?
Yeah, 2,200 square foot. And a minimum of 1 acre.
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
When is building starting? You know,
Could start as soon, starting the road could start, late summer, early fall. We're actually gonna start, part of the landscaping strategy is to bring back a native prairie system into some of the open spaces. Some of that could actually start within the next month or so. And then there's gonna be a significant reforestation. I can't remember the numbers, but it's hundreds and hundreds of trees that are going to be planted. We anticipate starting that ahead of most of the home construction.
Yeah, and we're currently working with Urban Wild and Justin as well and his team. And obviously plan for land. We actually had a meeting, I think 2 weeks ago on site to discuss all of this as well. So, and make sure these HOA requirements, he understands them, we understand them, make sure everybody is up to speed. And we are talking about doing the prairie season, this coming season and then following with road construction as follows, so.
my property, that's up to both, that one off the goat, I'm on both. So, the property.
Could you speak a little
I'm
louder?
sorry, my property, aligns with both areas that are being built. I'm on Gorsuch. My property goes back to where the Harlem will start, that, where the building. I just asked that, is there anything that's going to be enforced about, you know, the kids living there and stuff not coming on into my woods and things like that, making, you know, it's all kind of open. Cause I have up to the stream, definitely, and then we'll pass that. So, without me having to put a bunch of, you know, no trespassing, so it could be maybe some word could be out, but these are the restrictions and I kind of cherish my privacy there, so don't want people coming into the, you know, into my woods and hunting and fishing and all that.
Okay, I mean, we can definitely make a note and see what we
Okay.
can do with that. Our intention for that area.
Trying to be mean or just,
Our intention for that area is heavily passive in nature. So you had mentioned, who Amy is, she's been working with us about even leaving some of the existing, there's like some fallen trees that are actually helping with some of the erosion control. Yeah. And so some of
And
that
that's
could-
majority of our open space as well, so that's actually butting up to your property is our main open space, so.
just have no trust. And hunting and all of that.
And we can even make a note in the final HOA documents.
Anything else?
Just-
I'm sorry,
Yeah, Dave.
this is Harlem Road,
in the corner.
Jack Flank's property.
Jack Fling, they're just south of Harlem Road on the east side. The two lots on Gorsuch are gonna be access Gorsuch Road. This driveway going into this development will be off the Harlem. Just south of the Harlem there, a little bit, the village,
South of the bridge.
yeah. Anything else?
Just one point on your concern that trespassing and hunting and so on is not on trustee. You know, we have no control,
Yeah.
authority over that, so
Civil matter,
it's a civil matter, so just beware.
but if the gentleman will cooperate, signage, why, that should help a little bit.
I know it's interesting to people that hunt, that I've dealt with that over the years, of just people coming on the property and hunting. I put up signs and they've been torn down and that type of thing. It's gotten better over the years. but it's quiet back there.
Mhm.
Save the deer.
That's our intent as well. through the planning process, there's the sort of active open space, which is more in the center where some of the detention basins is. So that's viewed as passive. We're actually gonna probably be reforesting down there, to even make it more heavily.
There's a lot of briars.
Yeah,
I used to have a.
We encountered that about 2 weeks ago as well, so.
things that- We call mad scientists along with urban wild.
Mhm.
That's. Natural, but not invasive, so we're trying to keep that balance, and we've committed in the HOA documents and even in the binder. Are committing over almost up to 5 years of maintenance. To make sure as the prairie is getting established, that it's not taking over something that's done. But and there's even an education component that us as the developer are going to be funding an individual to continuously meet with the HOA, so that's sort of part of the culture of the neighborhood. That is the reason why they're sort of buying into this area, the natural space. And right there. Bring back one.
Okay, thank you.
Melissa, would you be willing to give us your personal direct phone number?
Yes, it is 740-513-5088. And then I have the office phone number as well if you need that. It is 740-413-4084.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no other public input, open it for discussion of the board.
I listened to most of the Zoom. I listened to the public portions there, and like you said, there was no complaint, anything that was, any issues were dealt with. I personally think this is a good start for what's coming.
I feel the same. I think it's been well thought out, well planned out. Zoning boards did a nice job on their vetting and so on. And what I liked about it was from Harlem Road, you're not gonna really see many houses, as I understand it. Is that correct? I mean, the road curves and so on. So from the road perspective of Harlem, you can't really, it's not like looking down a row of houses on both sides. So that to me was a real plus.
Yeah, and that's also what we're working with Urban Wild as well, to plant those trees and
Yeah.
throughout the development, not even just in the front, but throughout the whole development to make sure that it's very scenic.
Concern I would have, I guess, in the future, when sewer comes in 2026, will there be provision for this addition to tap into that sewer if and when it comes your way?
There should be, I can double check with Joe and get
Can
back
you?
to you.
There will be, Jim?
There-
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, that's,
Each house is designed to be able to tap into the sewer that we have.
okay, good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I agree. I've listened to quite a few of the Zoom meetings with the commission and so forth. And I think the commission did a great job going through this plan, and I'm kind of interested in seeing how it turns out. It's our first conservation subdivision. Anything else?
Nope.
Do we have a motion to act on this?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, you're making a motion to approve SREI fund for application for the PRCD, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, have a roll call vote, please.
Paul,
Aye.
Richardson,
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Motion
Okay,
passed.
motion carried. During your request, the application has been approved for the conservation subdivision. It's the paperwork at the end, the signatures. With that, we'll reconvene our business meeting. Okay, we skipped over the approval of change of salary for Kendra. Any discussion on that? No. Okay. We're moving to approve Kendra, administrative assistant to trustees, a salary change to $49,920 per year before going to first, the cost of living increase in 2024. That usually happens in January. All other terms of the hiring agreement will stay in effective 4/23 of 2023. I guess I'll make that as a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Roll call vote, please.
Christensen,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye. Okay. Move on to the next thing here. Administrative wise, you've overseen the mediation of or environmental issues here, and all's went well, right?
It went very well. He came in on Saturday, the 8th and Sunday, the 9th. And, did the remediation, he cleaned ductwork, he checked, he did, 2 test spots in drywall. And everything, when he ran, follow-up tests after everything was done. And, we are sitting at below normal levels on everything, so.
Sounds good.
That did show a little bit of stirred up dust, but that was to be expected from all the remediation that was done.
So far, the update that Jordan did is working out.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
The update that Jordan did to the air conditioning is working.
Yes, absolutely. As I've checked it several times, since he's done the update, there's been no condensation or any problems, noted with that.
Okay.
So that is working as well.
The test on that will be when it gets cold again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's when we don't wanna come about November of next year, we need to be focusing back to see if it's.
Gotcha. Okay. You have anything else, Kendra?
just following up that we've had several of our committees express concern about our audio visual, and I've had Steve Eisenbrown come in and go through it with me. We tested all the microphones and settings, and everything showed that it was working as it should. We also, the chief scheduled with another company, and his name's Bill Eddy from Midwest Technical, I guess. And he met with Chief and I in here and went through our AV system. He gave us a very positive report that our system was really a well put together system. Yeah, we have a couple of things that are causing some, as he called it, kind of minor issues, but right now he is scheduled to come back out this coming Friday at 11 a.m. to do a little follow-up on information, because he's trying to make sure that our symposium is compatible with the updated software. And if it is, he can just update instead of having to replace a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. We're waiting on quotes and
We're looking at probably putting a laptop with the podium.
instead of having the big desktop type computer, it would be a laptop to replace that. That would be one. He said he could do it all at once, or he could do it in phases. If we chose to go with him, and you know, we can get other quotes, whatever, you know, however you guys want to proceed with it. But his suggestion was going in various stages. We can pick the things that are most critical, like updating, you know, doing the laptop. We've got a projector that is starting to create problems. We've got, you know, this monitor here that no longer works, and we've got amps in the other room that are, one's bad and the other one's going bad. So he said stuff like that. He said, as far as all of our wiring, our mic system, and you know, he said all of that is really, he said he was very impressed with how well everything was put together in here.
Okay. All right, that's gonna happen this Friday then.
Friday, the 11th, we'll be back to gather more information so he can make sure that
Get that over here.
he's quoting
Get
us
that back there.
the best he can.
Anything else?
Question, and it comes up when we're having like meetings that with the strategic planning, for example, we've got the desk set out there and everybody's talking. These mics, is there any way that we can get extensions so that the mic can be moved out to the desk?
Well, two of these mics are on long cords.
That reaches just about
To
that.
that, to the
Yeah.
table there. those, I believe, are either 12 or 15-foot cables. I don't remember for sure. And we can order cables at various lengths. I think I saw 25-foot and 30-foot that we could order if we wanted longer cables for them. Also, we have that handheld mic. It is, there's something, and I don't know what it's called in here because it's more technological than what I'm experienced with, but it has a channel that's supposed to sync with the handheld mic and it keeps jumping channels.
But that's
It-
part of the amp issue. I
Is it?
think,
Okay.
yeah.
So once we get that rectified, our handheld mic would work again as well.
Okay. The
Couple cables.
internet, you've experienced problems here. Have you, got a
Yes.
good contact with Spectrum?
I was on the phone, actually, Spectrum did a reset on our whole building today. Unfortunately kicked a couple people out of a conference call, Zoom meeting. But they reset the whole system. They said, try it for a couple of days, see if that corrected the problem. If it does, then we're good to go. If it doesn't, I have to call back with them and they'll send a tech out to check our equipment.
Okay. And the whole install at the Grange went good?
From what I understand, I'm having a little bit of concern about some of the various emails that have been used on all these various accounts and everything. I set up to do the install at the Grange. I gave them my email, but then they used an old email which went to a former fire chief. And I don't know if anybody ever even got that email, but they schedule it off of that. And so it was just by happenstance that I even knew when they were coming out. Because I called them actually and asked them if I hadn't heard anything. So, it went, he installed it from the back of the building. There's a pole at the back of the Grange Hall. So he brought it in from the back of the building and up the, east side. He went underground, or was that above ground, Mike? It was above ground. Mike went out netting because I was in here with the AV guy.
Okay.
And he brought it in and then put it, it's like right under the electric service panel. That's where it came in. We potentially need to get some like those cord covers to cover the cords and have them down where they aren't exposed. But other than that, it's fine. Working as it should.
Okay. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Chief, you're up.
As of last week, we were at 130 runs for the year, 48 fire, 91 EMS, which is about a 65% EMS call. We're now up to about 4 runs per day. Sometimes we've had 3 or 4. So we're getting busier. And the first thing I have up is resolution 230419T-011. Approval to change conditions of employment for Michael W. McKean as Assistant Fire Chief. Basically, what we're doing is moving from the transitional piece that we started at the beginning of the year to a part-time, about 3 days a week position.
Okay. Ask for a motion to approve that change.
So moved.
You guys do that. To put yourself back on payroll.
We did the payroll thing. We did the payroll. We need a motion for this change?
Yeah.
She's just referring to when I do payroll and how I do payroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
He was salary and
I-
payroll,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it will be automatic. Yeah.
and now he's gonna be hourly, so.
Okay. The motion to approve that hourly and the 3 days a week.
The motion?
Yeah,
Yeah. You made a motion?
I made the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor, better have a roll call vote, please.
Roll call. vote.
Oh, did he say roll call? I'm sorry. Jackson.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
Richardson.
Aye.
Motion carried.
With a lot of the things that have been going on around the building in different areas, and we're kind of the main occupant, except from 8 to 4 during the day. I thought I would bring up the discussion, and I would like to be able to to streamline how things get to you guys, and since it comes from my budget, it comes from your budget, depending on what it is, I would like to be the point of contact for anything here. You know, I know I have some budget so I can get some things done, but if it becomes a major project where obviously I'll come to you guys and say, here's what we're gonna do. But I think to help make things flow a little smoother, I think it would be nice if we could do that and work that way. And so that's why I have resolution 230419T-012 allowing me to oversee the maintenance for this building. And then, again, you know, if there's certain things to be done, you get, you know, it's a terminator in for our friend upstairs or whatever that we had to do, that I can do that, but we get to bigger projects and stuff. You guys can decide, and then I can take care of making sure it happens after that.
I read somewhere about the first request was to enter into contract. Am I reading, did I read that wrong? Allow you to enter into contract with
Yeah,
the
it will be after
vendor?
your approval.
After approval,
Yes, yeah.
okay.
If it's a major thing,
Yeah.
if it's just, you know, some electric lines or something that's small, then I'll take care of that, but that would be anything big, I'm coming to you guys.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think,
You'll discuss it with me too, right?
Maybe.
well,
Okay, do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
that's a second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Anything else?
Yep, thank you.
Oh, wow, okay, easy. Got a couple things on here to do with OPWC. First resolution is to approve the 2024 OPWC grant application for Township Road 26 Montgomery Road. We're submitting an application again for that project. Consists of full depth repair, stabilization, paved with asphalt level coat and asphalt surface, chip seal, fog, berm work, and address culverts if necessary. Then the road would be marked with center line, edge line, stop bars. We also request to be considered for grant enhancement that's programmed through the Delaware County Engineers Office. They match our contribution. Sometimes they exceed it in their new program they have. The road is 0.97 miles long, 18 feet wide. That is a motion. Would somebody second it?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. The second is an REA notifying the county that we would like to put this in the hopper. So I would move that 230419T14 motion for that. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Now we have another motion, the twin culverts on Montgomery Road are in need of repair. Our estimated cost, our share, there's twin culverts. This estimate is our portion of the repair, $22,141.15. That is for one culvert and our share of the installation and so forth. We don't have much choice with that. I wish it would have been addressed last year when they did the ditch petition, but that's another animal. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll approve. I'll make a motion. We approve.
Second.
Second, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Now we need to, we discovered in our Buckeye paving prices that actually pavement improvement in Robbins Road West, the segment from 605 to Miller Paul, is included in our county bid that they're handling now. So we need a motion to rescind that one. That motion we're passing tonight is 23-419T-016.
So moved.
Second.
Explain that a little more, Dave, on that one.
We discovered that the level coating, or excuse me, the work we were gonna have Buckeye do is already gonna be done by county. They're gonna greater patch that segment of the road with the chip seal project. So we need to withdraw this portion of the Buckeye contract. We did 2 contracts for him.
Yeah.
We're withdrawing this one, and we have the second one for Robbins East we're keeping in place.
Do you feel that the Buckeye, the county's bid was, as inclusive as the
Well,
Buckeye paving bid in terms of?
Bart and I met with Doug and John Huffman that actually does the estimating last week, I think. And he made some recommendations. Bart took him over, and at both ends of the Robbins Road West, there will be some grinding done. That's going to be on our county bid that the county's taking bids on now. So there will be some milling and paving on that program. But the greater patch is going to get the majority of the rest of everything else. We've done that in the past. I think we did it on Robbins, the east by 605.
Yeah, this whole ball wax is confusing to me, because I'll tell you why. We never submitted Robbins West to the county at all. We had a house to repair ourselves. The only thing we submitted to county was overlay Horsey Trade with some full depth repair. The county come to us and say, oh, you can't pay Horsey. So we'll take the money from Horsey. No, we'll do Robinson. We never requested that.
Yeah, I had it on the list for chip seal, chip seal and greater patch. I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah. But the final estimate, I
If
mean,
you submitted it that way, why didn't you have me go through all the trouble having my crown?
I forgot about it. Okay.
Gotcha.
I mean, they want this stuff in October, and that's the bad part of it. And then they're gonna submit bids on it, which they're just now doing. So, that was my mistake. But our final price on our contract work, we don't know what it's gonna be. He took away 125,000 because we're not paving Gorsuch now. So they wants to try this drainage thing. But then they're adding some back for the milling that they're gonna do pavement repair. And I heard it, 30,000 figure? So it's probably a net 95 off of that contract to 262 you had.
That young engineer boy requested drainage improvement in some areas of Horsey Trade.
Yeah,
They're proved that in the shale was anywhere from 4 to 8 inches. In the topsoil and the center line of the ditch.
yeah, I'm not, I don't think it's gonna work.
There's no way we can go deeper on drainage. The problem area.
Yeah,
It's not either. Either right, or either deteriorate, or we want to take some issue for there next year.
I still don't understand the drainage and from about where the work was when they started the area on both sides where the new bridge is. It's like expansion joints. And that is too even to be a drainage problem. I still think it was a paver problem that caused those hiccups.
Oh, you go down, and you can go down there now, Dave, and it's really, you can really see it now. If you go around the inside of that curve, there is tall grass. All foot better tall, every 30 feet. There is fingers of drainage tile underneath that.
Yeah,
Coming into the inside of that curve. So, and it's wet. It's wet right at every spot. It's saturated.
yeah.
There's less than tile put underneath that road. During the OPWC project back in
Late 90s.
97. That's what you got. Either gonna bite the bullet and pave it, or if you do drainage, you're gonna have a hell of a rocky mess, and you're gonna be down there with the pneumatic hammer trying to bust out shale, and shale's not really
Yeah,
Shed water, that didn't.
it just holds water. I don't know, we probably need to get him. We'd probably need him to get to draw up, if they can find those plans for back then. And look at that and see just what they did. 'Cause if there was drainage put in that,
Never really enthused about the plans, because that's basically a NASCAR curve. Down that bridge, I mean. And the slope on that is tremendous.
I know,
Never made sense when it went.
anyway, need a motion to withdraw the Robbins Road West.
So moved. One second. Second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, now the Robbins East, is this the refresh number, the 48,750, or? So he's good with that?
He's good with that. He's gonna go ahead and include the repairs to the parking lot.
Okay.
And there's a spot on the north end of Green Cook, by, Ken Buell's old barn there.
Yeah,
About 120 feet there is busted up, and I had him look at it, he threw that in too. Pulled that through.
okay.
Yes.
Well, and then we'll probably have to come back and do over these twin culverts when they get that. They're supposed to do that next month.
Hopefully county will take care of that.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't count on it. So this 23-419T 017 is the refreshed coat quote from Buckeye Paving. Because there is gonna be, last week we priced it, what was it? 44, yeah. So this is $4,425 more additional cost.
Does he specify in there what he's gonna do?
Well, I don't have the actual contract. It says quote for Robbins Road East from Green Cook to county line. And road repairs to be done by Buckeye, and then the other miscellaneous, the parking lot, no, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, you're gonna mill out patches that are marked already down to a depth of 4 inches, clean out patches, sweep, shovel, blow them out. Haul grindings out if they're not to be used for berm in the area. Some of the areas are hooving and shoving, so there'll be no berm work anymore. This is perfect situation for that material, I guess. Install 2 inches of compacted asphalt, the bottom layer, roll asphalt, use compactor on patches that are too narrow for roller. Apply 2 inches of compacted asphalt to top layer, roll asphalt, compact and tamp. Total yards is 1,110 yards. Asphalt 253 ton at price of 48,750. But this just says Robbins Road from Green Cook to county line.
I think it'd be a good idea to have him and make sure he includes what Bart just talked about the
I would
parking
think
lot
so, yeah.
Before
I've talked to Mike and he said it's no problem. I mean,
he's good for his word, but I just want.
Well, we need it in writing to be in the folder.
On the
yeah,
quote,
I can have him draw it.
Okay. should be on the quote.
So- So with that, I would say that motion pending the contract from Mr. Brown to reflect the work that we discussed. But
That's good.
okay.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, sure.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Let's see. All right, we're down to. Where they got you on here, Bart? Try to get you out of here. We'll get into this other stuff. What do you got for us, Bart? That was it? Okay. All right. Well. Ed, you wanna take off on this here on the parks?
Ed Valesca, representing Park Committee. Last week, April 13th, I addressed the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities in reference to our grant request. They approved funding 1/2 of the cost of those accessible picnic tables that we purchased. So they're giving us $3,201. 50-50 split. All we have to do is put up a plaque that says they kicked in and take a photograph of the plaque and the picnic tables in the background. This will be reimbursable after installation and after we pay up front.
That work for you, Lisa?
Yeah, because I went on today after work and I found the current. That's the terms and conditions
Okay.
of the grant, so I'm fine. It
Good with
seems pretty easy to do. I have to send the canceled checks and invoices that we paid, and
All right.
proof of payment.
Well, we need resolution 23-419T018 to accept the Delaware County Board of Development Disabilities grant money.
And this is for the Pilot Rock invoice, right?
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah. We have a motion for that.
A second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, go on, sir.
Okay, so in so doing, we saved you $3,201. I'm gonna ask.
You're gonna spend it
I'm
now.
gonna ask for some of that back. I'm also a member of a nonprofit organization called Harlem Community Playground. That organization organized and pushed for the development of our playground across the street. And now that organization would like to go out of business. We have $2,691 in our account. We'd like to spend that on a couple of pieces of playground equipment. You should have pictures in front of you. One of
I
them.
do not have any. I
Okay,
have no quote, no pictures, no nothing.
okay.
And what was the 2,000 you said?
2,000, well, let me arrange things here. I did run off some copies. So that's something for you.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
This is what Harlem Community Playground is willing to put up, just for your information.
Okay,
And this is what, no. Same thing. Bottom line, we're asking the township for $1,041.48 to buy those two spring riders. That includes $500 for shipping, which it's possible that that could be rescinded if we could tag along with another order. We might get free shipping.
Thank you. Does this have on here what your 2,000 balance or whatever it was you said that you guys had? 'Cause I need that now.
so you're saying they're gonna pay $2,690.52.
Correct.
And our portion would be $1,041.48.
Yes.
I'm in it now.
Oh, I'm getting there too.
Okay, so bottom line, you're wanting. Which figure you're wanting 1,041 out of us?
That's correct. 1,400 and, wait a minute, $1,041.48.
Okay,
Now, would this be part of the $6,000? Or not?
well,
Had already asked you guys for, is this separate?
Is that,
we're getting back. What was it? $3,201 of the 6,000, so it's that 1148's coming out of what we're getting back, so we don't get to keep it very long, yes. That work for you?
Yeah, I was just wondering, they had asked for 6,000, so I
Right.
put 6,000 in the park budget, so I didn't know. If that was gonna be the 6,000 that they had asked. That's all.
Your motion on that?
well, one question, you said that $500 might be rescinded. What's the conditions on that?
Yes, I was speaking with Patty Hobson at Mid States. They're the ones that have supplied most of the equipment in the playground. And as it is, the items would be delivered to this address. But if she can piggyback our order with someone else's, then it would come to her place out in Pataskala, and we'd have to go out and pick it up like we've done in the past.
Okay.
And she's just not sure she'll have another order coming in to do that. I suppose what we could do is maybe ask to wait. I mean, we could approve it, but say, well, let's wait until we can piggyback with someone else,
That's fine.
That's an option.
Good idea, I think.
$500.
Right.
Or we could we wait until definitely after we get this check reimbursement back? Does that sound good to you?
Sure.
Or you?
That'll be,
Within 30 days.
I'm sorry.
It said within 30 days that we would have a check.
Yeah, but last time it took longer than 30. And this is for picnic tables, which they're 2 months out
Oh,
before we'll even get them.
Okay,
oh, I didn't know they were 2 months out.
Yeah, it turns out everybody is about 2 months out. They're 2 months out for these spring riders and for other things.
okay.
I mean, I can play, I can delay, but I'd like to have approval.
Right.
Yep.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I'm fine with it. Personally,
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion. I'm not that fine with it. No,
Oh, come on now.
that's a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those signify aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed.
So it could well be $500 and 40.
Well, six and
You-
600, change, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what you got next, Ed?
All right, well, staying with the playground, Chuck and Karen Bachman were the movers and shakers that got it going. I'd say that without their motivation, that playground wouldn't be there. Plus the fact that they made a sizable donation to get the fund going. What they had in mind the whole time was to honor their son, who is deceased. His name was John H. Bachman. He lived from 1980 to 1997, so he was 16 years old when he died. So I find it harder and harder to control my emotions as I get older, seriously.
All right.
I don't know if anyone else
Okay.
knows, but I just tear up easily. So we'd like to put up a little sign, 4x8 little sign on the there's an entry sign to the playground. It's about this high, about this wide, and it has some safety advice. Well, on the back side of that, it's blank. So we'd like to put a little sign about so big and just say, in loving memory of. I didn't even know the guy, for God's sake. John H. Bachman, 1980, 1997. Okay, just very simple. And so I have a bid for $65. And so I'd like to ask you to allow us to do that.
Okay. Is that a motion? I'll make a motion, we do that. Okay,
Second.
all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Gee, I hope I don't embarrass myself further. Okay, let's see. We're planning a volunteer workday for maybe the second or third weekend in May. I've already got a couple of families that want to participate. We're gonna do some mulching, put down some grass seed, maybe cleaning the restrooms. There's some wood that needs to be stained. There's weeds to be pulled. There's a few other things. So I guess we'd like your blessing on that effort. I'm guessing either May 13th or 20th, the latter one being a rain date. And there'll be some incidental expenses. We're gonna buy some mulch, but I mean, we do have a line item, right?
Well, so I'd like to see if we could use Jerry's credit card on some of this stuff.
Yeah,
We could,
might,
please.
yeah, make it easier accounting for the township.
Yes. Yes, it would.
We'll do that.
Thank you.
Will you need a backhoe? How much mulch are you talking about?
I was thinking of just doing it with wheelbarrows, not, not
Okay,
not needing heavy
Like
equipment.
bags of mulch?
No, we have a pile now, which is
Oh,
about so high, but
Okay.
I thought of getting another truckload.
okay.
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 Cool.
All right.
When do we plan to open the restroom, Bart? Any thoughts on that? Well, we got some repairs to do, don't we, before we open it in the men's? We need to get some. What's that?
Yeah, probably.
I think. Did we get Billy in there to check it out and make sure everything's ready to go?
Yeah, if I can get him.
Yeah, if you can get him. Why don't you, the board's okay with it, go ahead and get him in there just to make sure everything's set for when you open it. That way, I think I know there's one pipe off in that men's restroom, I believe, off that tank in there, but anyway.
Yep. Okay.
So this is back to the park committee again. In the past, we've been, I want to say blessed with having youth baseball teams, using our diamond as their home field for practice a couple of nights a week. It brings a lot of vitality to the park. It's just, I don't know, part of summer. And right now, our two teams that we have aged out. Their boys are too big now, and they smack that ball and it goes out of the diamond and over the walking path. So I was wondering if we couldn't advertise, look around, see if there isn't a team that's looking for a home. And inviting them to use our field in exchange for helping with maintenance, or asking for a modest fee, whatever. I'm interested in bringing activities to the park, and any other considerations are really up to you. Do you want it to work a certain way or not? I just want to see a ball game there. What do you think?
Thoughts, Carl?
My only concern with the advertising part was we wanted to make sure we kept it local. Or primarily local in the past. And we didn't go into any charges because we were concerned with the liability issues.
Right. And they were contributing.
And they were,
some upkeep.
yeah, they did the upkeep. There was no, we weren't charging, and I mean, that was what we did in the past originally with the original two teams that you're referring to.
I think it was last year we were approached by Johnstown, weren't we? They were looking for.
Well, over the years, I know, and I was gonna say, I'm sure it probably continued after when Bob was, I mean, I know once the word got out that we had at the time 2 diamonds, we got a lot of phone calls from outside. And basically I just told them that we were trying to keep it local. And we were able to, for the most part. I think most of the boys were local from what I understood originally. I think that may have merged out a little bit as time went through, but
Yeah.
yeah, they did. They named it Harlem Heat. So
And they've gone to a bigger field and kept the name.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's an excellent idea. I agree. It's nice to go over and get beamed by a baseball when you're at the shelter house every once in a while.
Yeah, Joni?
I just wanted to mention that, HTH is starting up farmers market. Thursdays at the park, starting May 18th. Which is also when we're gonna have a food truck available too. So there will be things going on at the park, and I'm sure the farmers market people would prefer not to get beamed by them all.
Is there a charge on that, Joni, this year?
There is not.
No charge. Okay.
And that was the thing with,
Be happy to see that.
they,
Like to see, honey, what you-
well,
we deliver.
if we do find a team, they have to be aware that any township group takes precedent over. I mean, we tried to make sure the scheduling never, I don't remember ever having a conflict. But it just, they need to understand that. I don't know how we go about finding a team though. That's
No, I don't know either. I mean,
actively putting the word out. I'm afraid we would get,
I think we-
I'm sure we would get inundated,
yeah,
but
I guess I wouldn't worry so much about it being idle right now. I think somebody will come along. I don't know. I mean, you could, if you put something on the website, I'm not even sure about that either.
If we could keep it, we can't get anybody local, we could maybe limit the Big Walnut
yeah.
area,
Right.
kids, I don't know.
I mean, that's the one thing I would maybe suggest if somebody wants to contact, even if go over to the school, elementary school, and let them put the word out to any of the parents that, hey, you know, we have a local.
Yeah.
That, I would hate to put it in a newspaper. I'd like to keep it, like you said,
That might be a good approach
maybe
first.
go to the schools
Yeah.
and say, you know, we have this capability, this available a couple nights a week. You know, we don't want to tie it up, because that was the other concern I know we originally had was if it gets tied up every night, Dad and Johnny can't go over and the ball run. And, you know, that is the public's park over there.
So if we went to Souders,
I would say that would be a good place to start.
okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Cause they might have kids and youth.
Exactly.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
right.
You know, during the summer,
Yep.
so.
Well, I know little league teams, they're always looking for a place to play. It's a little far to drive. I know my son, he lives in Texas. He's always looking for a place to play, but it's a little far to come up here.
Okay, anything
The
else?
last thing is that we have retired all of the wooden benches. They were falling apart and peeling paint and such. So all the Scio Quinn memorial benches are set aside. I have a quote for some replacements, if anyone's interested. No, we're not asking for any more at this time.
Okay,
But I think in the future, we'd like to get a couple more in-ground benches, metal,
all right,
all weather.
exactly.
So maybe another time.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, facilities, we've got a request to approve the cleaning of the Grange by R&R Cleaners. I think that's the firm we used before, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
And that's at the rate is $250
yes.
per cleaning, same as
On
before.
Actually, on Monday they can do it, I guess.
I will make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We've already talked about the spectrum being installed there, the new lock system. How's that?
I have not put it in. I'm bringing it back to give it to Kendra tomorrow.
Okay.
We didn't sign the check, by the way. Home Depot,
It's up here.
it's taxed. It was taxed, so we held it out.
Oh,
For the lock.
They wouldn't rescind the tax. So
okay.
we're returning the lock
Oh, I still gotta pay it.
I'm gonna go tomorrow. and
Not
it'll
till we
be
get the
returned and
lock.
Credited back to the account.
So it's
So,
not gonna be credited until next month on the next statement, so I still have to pay this statement no matter what.
not if we return the lock.
If you use my card, they got our tax ID on file.
they can't find it.
They wouldn't.
Number.
Huh?
And use the tax. Your number.
I gave it.
It depends on which, if would you go to Westerville?
Uh-huh.
Depends what part I go over there. It depends on which register you go to and who you talk to. Because one of them wants a phone number, you go to a different register, she wants that number you're talking about.
I gave them the
They-
tax ID
Their
number,
system is so messed up out there right now.
phone numbers,
Um,
addresses.
What phone number you give them?
I gave them the shop phone number and the phone number here.
3456.
Yes.
okay,
I went over there this
so it
afternoon,
is due
and
by-
I was there for an hour.
When is it due?
Yeah.
Statement.
And
See,
he
the
went
problem
on
is we're
and
gonna
he
have
was
to pay
talking
this
to
because
some
it's credit.
supervisor over him, and they're like,
And
just
you have to
return
pay
it,
the
credit it
statement.
back, and then rerun it.
Then
through
the
again.
next month, what they're gonna do is they're going to
So-
credits.
Credit
Our
credit card
accounts.
back.
I see.
I have to pay the statements.
Okay,
So,
Got it.
Unfortunately.
So the point is, we'll have them credit the tax back next month
that's what's gonna happen.
on the card.
Yeah, because we're not gonna
You're
pay.
gonna need signatures for that, right? So you
Because I
pay them.
told him, I said, you know how much time it's set up for him to have that.
Let's look and see.
And they told me,
I know it's confusing, but you know, when we use a credit card, we
Mhm.
gotta pay the credit card.
There you go.
Due date by 4:30.
Okay,
So,
Okay.
all right.
There you
Okay, got it.
We're good.
all right, thank you.
I'm
Sorry.
getting, I'm getting two shot colors.
What?
We need two shot colors. Shot colors.
No.
Okay, now we're talking security cameras, let's see, we got one camera and monitor for maintenance and facing to the parking lot and two cameras, the fire station. We got a quote from Stewart at 3603 for the fire station, and the maintenance building is 2179.
The camera at the fire station looking towards the park, unless it's a super, super high resolution, it's not gonna do us any good.
I can agree with that.
I mean, one at the maintenance building, I could see if we need something at the firehouse, which what do we need? A security camera? We're 24/7 here. Do we really need a security camera here? I could see the maintenance building because there's,
Thinking, chief.
No, because I agree with Westminster, we don't need anything on the ramp. They're gonna shoot across the street and you're not gonna be able to see it. I think there's other technology. Even if you put up a motion camera over there in the park, like a deer camera,
Mhm.
you know, with the download might be better, more effective than something that's gonna be way across the street.
Right.
I mean, if you look at any news program where they show, you know, can you identify this person? And I don't think his mother could identify him.
So what are you thinking about the maintenance building?
The maintenance building, I could see maybe, I mean,
What are you looking for?
I don't know.
Trying to get view on the parking areas of the park. That's the maintenance building. If you had one in the corner of it, I don't know if it's gonna do.
There's been information, if this is what it's in regards to, of someone living in our park.
They have high resolution,
But, you know, I don't know that can't, I think maybe I would prefer to request maybe that the sheriff's department drive through there in the evening.
We had a car broken into across the street.
Yeah, in broad daylight.
Broad
I know,
based, yeah,
I mean,
right.
and I mean, if people didn't see it, I doubt the camera would have picked it up.
Probably not. Okay,
So
so we'll forego that, right?
I agree.
All right. Cemetery, Mr. Paul's requested 288 memorial flags to be ordered by the flag lady. The cemetery. Do we need a motion for that?
We can.
Well,
We got them in. We
Yeah.
already got them.
no, we can do it after the fact, I guess. It's up to you.
I'll make a motion. We approve that expenditure.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I would like to request next time we do this, Kendra, we'll maybe shop around a little bit.
Yeah, you put that in there, you have.
Yeah, because, and make sure we get American-made
Right,
product.
right.
So I think we might be able to better that price.
First aren't anymore.
Pardon?
The flag ladies weren't American made.
These are,
Oh my God, please tell me that's not.
what'd you find out on that, Kendra?
They are American.
That's what I thought. I heard. But,
I was gonna say it's over, y'all.
Oh, my.
that would have gone back.
Okay. As a flag lady don't make their own flags. It's over.
Okay. So moving on, recap the meeting with the Lewis Engineering Firm.
Yes, I met with them last week, Kendra, Bart and I, and we did get a general large quote. And I think at this point is too premature. I'd like to ask the board to hold off on approving this quote, because a lot of it's going to depend on the lettering and numbering system that we go with. And I'm working on that right now, trying to get the layout for the numbering. And once I get that, then we can maybe proceed with the
Trying to find a
approval.
vendor, right?
Trying to find a vendor. Plus, the key is, and I talked to Sims people today, Ray, what's the name of the place? Ray something. Who handles our program for this cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Raymaker?
Raymaker. Thank you. And they're working with me on, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel on numbering. They're working with us on a numbering system. However, what they sent over today was totally incorrect because of the grave sites are positioned the wrong way. They need to be going east to west. So I'll continue on that. But once I get that, it might change the number of pins required by the surveyor.
Okay.
So I hesitate to ask for a specific number here until I get everything firmed up on that. So
how far down was the list were we with Lewis when we?
2 weeks out.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks out. Wasn't too bad.
All right. Forego that now.
Okay. I'll try to get that wrapped up here between now and next meeting at the latest. So.
Mike, you're up. I woke him up there. Wrong Mike. Mike 1 and Mike 2.
All right. Just to give you an update of where we stand on the permits for the month, we're at 28 right now, as opposed to, we were at 32 for the end of the month last year. I believe we're on pace to beat that by the end of this month. I think we're going to exceed it. The only deficits being in single family residence, we're down 2, accessory buildings, we're down 6. But as I said, based on the calls, based on the inquiries I'm getting, I think we'll beat that. Moving on to the open enforcement issues, you follow along there, the Harlem Road address. that's here at the top. We've went through my part of it, the 2 letters and the 14 days. And then it went on to Corey, and Corey being the assistant prosecutor when I refer to him as we go down here. And talking with him now on that first Harlem Road address. We're to the point where he's issued a letter, and I think we're 7 days into that. I think he issued them right around 4/6. Same situation on the 5828 State Route 605. We've got, we're to Corey on that. He issued the letter on that, I believe, right around 4/6. And the next step will be up to him. I talk with him probably every other day. So he'll keep me informed on where we stand on that. I did talk with him today. As far as the Lewis Road address, in talking with him today, he feels that we're going to have to revisit that. I'm going to have to find out from you guys exactly who did that complaint, so I can go talk with them, because with the pictures that I'm getting based on where I've got to take the pictures from, he doesn't feel like we have enough information there to say those cars are junk, because they don't, from a picture, you can't tell if they have no motor, have no transmission, have tires missing. They appear to have all that. So we don't know if they're running or not. So I'm going to have to go out and talk with whoever filed the complaint.
Is that where the fire truck?
Yeah.
Okay. We should have that information.
Yeah.
For him, yeah.
And then try to contact them, and which I did today, and nobody's answering those phones. It's probably because it's coming up Harlem Township and they don't want
It's
to
a
talk.
next door neighbor to them. I don't know which side.
In the corner,
I
the
think.
horse farm behind, or is it the other side?
I don't know.
Been too long ago. I don't recall, but I know
It
there
was Yvonne and, what's her husband's name? It was them that, I know you talked to them for a while when they were here, about it.
we'll see if we can run that down for you.
All right, appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that's where we stand on that one. On the Covan property, also speaking with Corey today, last time I checked, they've got another dumpster out there, and it's continuing to clean up, but it's not going real fast. They're cleaning it up, as you know, they're older and they're out there trying to clean it up together, and but they are making progress. Corey says, as long as they're making progress, and I agree with him, we aren't in the business of trying to push these guys to get it done at a breakneck pace, but as long as they're continuing to make progress, I'll keep checking it, and we'll talk with Corey and we'll make the assessment on what we need to do there. The Green Cook address, he feels I need to talk with you guys before I take it off of the list, because it's cleaned up. I mean, it's the one car I had an issue with that didn't have a tire on it. It's an old truck he got rid of. So we will talk about that. I do have a new one on 5901 Harlem Road that I'm watching. Went out to talk with him. There was no answer to the door. I sent him a letter, and he's straightened those cars up and cleaned it up a little bit. So we'll keep monitoring it. And if I got to do something else with it, I will. As far as the BZA issues, nothing's really changed on that, except for the dump truck issue on Center Village Road. I sent my letter out to him telling him that he needed to contact me and tell me what he's going to do to abate that issue. And he's not contacted me back. I have the feeling he's done talking to me, because he was in there for about 2 hours with me before I went that far. And I think he knows that we're kind of at a dead end as to what he should be doing on that property. And then after he got some counsel, I'm assuming that they've told him not to contact me back. I don't know. But anyways, and talking with Corey said today was the last day of my 14 days. So he's going to go ahead and take some action if I don't get back with him and tell him they called me. And as of now, he's not called me. So there's going to be action taken on that by Corey. And then the only other potential issue out there, which is really not an issue, it's just a BZA issue. We've got a variance coming for a pool garage down on Fancher Road. And I believe that's it.
Okay. Well, Melissa's here. The next step on the 605 property, after the letter has been rejected after 14 days, you know the next step that the county is going to take?
Yeah, he says the next step on that will be he's going to file a complaint with the Court of Common Pleas.
Okay.
that would be the road we go down.
Yeah, could you address that a little bit? Once that happens, Melissa, what's the time frame and how's all that work?
They do have a statutory timeframe to respond. I don't remember what that is.
Okay, okay, all right, yeah, yeah. But from that point on, then it's through the court system. It's not on, we don't have to do anything else at that point.
Essentially, at the end of the litigation.
Okay, all right. In terms of,
And which property? It's 605.
The 605.
Yeah.
right?
Which we'd like you to drive by it on your way home. That Jim could probably take you down and show you.
I tell you what, if you get on Google Earth, you can get a good aerial view of it too.
Oh, yes.
The satellite sees it very well.
Hmm.
It is that big.
That's the one, Melissa's been 5 years in the making. We, give you a little history on it.
Well,
I found some older paperwork and had my
Did you?
office.
For more than 5 years.
that happened my second year in the first term.
That
Yes.
long.
Yeah, no, it's been an oldie.
Been,
Going for a long
You're
time.
welcome to open up.
yes,
Yes.
Welcome like that, just.
and a 357.
Great remedy, getting that property cleaned up, that's not gonna involve this purchase at the end of the day. But the court action is probably the best route to go at this point now in the situation.
Well, I know Mike received at last night's meeting, a resident came to Mike with the fact that this is spilling over onto his property now. And he can't farm because of it's so far out into the field.
That was mentioned tonight.
Yeah, okay.
He's here tonight.
Yeah,
I took care of that. Talked
Yeah.
to Corey and called him back today.
okay. Anything else? Any questions for Mike?
I have one question. On the BZA, the dog training facility.
Yeah.
Was that heard?
Yes, that was approved with the BZA.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, thank you. I'm at the end of my rope. Yeah, that too. Anything else, maybe public? Yeah, Mike. Jim, sorry.
Going up here so everybody can hear me.
Oh, goodness. All good. So I had several things that I wanted to get back to you on, but I sort of lumped everything into a overall view for you. First off, I wanted to tell you that with our new zoning officer, the BZA and the zoning board are working in tandem for the first time that I ever knew of. And the communications is fantastic. That we're able to communicate back and forth. We have a central point that takes the information and feeds it to where it needs to go. And also we have meetings and talk about strategies on how we're going to handle problems, how we're going to handle, we have individuals that come in, zoning has had them, BZA's had them, that they don't know what to do, and you keep telling them what to do. We sit down, we try to help these people. And these type of things, and everything's working very, very well. And I just wanted to commend everybody on that, that it's really a good fit. And then moving forward with that, our zoning officer is also on the strategic planning committee because he is our zoning officer. So there again, that information goes back and forth. And so we've become broader on our knowledge and what we can work on and what we can research. So that goes even further. Then it was brought to my attention, even though it was on our mind. Now we have the fire department in our fold. And we are working with them and going to continue
to feed information back and forth with them. So all your departments are starting to gel and work together on various projects. And I think that's very commendable. And then the last thing I have is following up on that. So zoning director and the planning commission, 2 members, we went over and we wanted to see what the maintenance building looked like. Because when you talk about maintenance, you might need a new one. I had no idea what you're talking about. We had no idea. So Bart showed us through, and I want to commend him and his staff. That place is spotless. I mean, that is the most spotless building I have ever, that is just fantastic over there. And he gave us the grand tour, and now we have a better understanding of what's needed and when you start talking about it. And there again, that's cooperation. Everybody gets together. Well, hey, let's just go see the building. So we all go over, we all have an understanding. These things are working together. One reason we went over there, and that's my follow-up that I was really originally going to do. At the last meeting, we had talked about maintenance building, farmer's market, that type of thing. I'm just now starting to get footage and information in on what things would look like, and also getting an understanding of what, is going to be needed for a maintenance, building. And so I would ask that you have your ideas and your comments ready. We're going to put some stuff together, and we would like to sort of sit down and see if we can gel something out that helps Center Village and the township. And but we are working on it. I just wanted to let you know we are working on it. We're starting to get things in. That was part of the reason we went over and looked at the maintenance building to understand, you got all this equipment, you got to park it somewhere. And that type of thing. And so everything's working good. We're all working together. And I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you. Right. Anything else? Board?
I have nothing. Joni?
Just a general announcement that, the noodle dinner will be on Friday, April 28th. The March dinner went pretty well, and we're hoping the April dinner goes even better. To let everybody know. And the other announcement is that even though Delaware County does not have any issues at the next election, those people who reside in the Johnstown Monroe School District, who live in Harlem Township, do have an issue. They can go to the Delaware Board of Elections and look up where and when the dates and times that they can go over into Lincoln County to vote.
Okay. Last chance. Okay. Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, aye. Aye. We are adjourned.
Which way I segued into that. Still got work on it.
Thank you.
I'm going home with more papers than I got here.
No, it seems like it works out that way.